My name's Jake, and I do vocals in Murrieta.
My name's Cage. I'm the drummer for Murrieta.
My name is Mark Salazar, and I play guitar for Murrieta.
I think that we would be called a melodic post-hardcore band.
I don't really have an answer to that question. People ask me that all the time. I don't really know.
I mean, it's pretty hard to describe, honestly. Every time I tell people, I don't know what to say. Like he said, kind of post-hardcore, kind of melodic hardcore. It's along those lines. So it was actually my idea, and I play metal. Like, I'm in a metal band too, and I'd always played metal, but I always liked different types of hardcore and post-hardcore, melodic hardcore, stuff like that. So I wanted to strum some chords instead of playing hard alternate run licks all the time. So yeah, me and a buddy, Jason Ledesma, who drummed with me in a band called Dres and Codex, he was on board because he liked, some of the same stuff, like Lot of Dispute and bands like that. So he was down, so that was when we started it up.
I joined after a while because the band had been going for about a year. The original members had been jamming for about a year, and they needed a vocalist after a couple months of being without, so I just stepped in because they asked me to.
They were jamming for probably almost close to a year. They had pretty much a full band. They lost their drummer. They knew about me. They asked me to come jam with them, and I've been with them ever since. Mostly here locally. I started playing shows here, hardcore shows, when I was in 7th grade, so I was 13 or 14, and then I've just been in bands ever since. I've been punk band, pop punk band, hardcore band, ska band, now this band, so yeah, just doing all that stuff.
Probably a good 4 or 5 other bands I've been in over the past about 10 years. But like I said, it was always metal bands, so.
Yeah, I was in 2 bands when I was younger. One called Hidden by Ivory, which I was a vocalist in, and one called Virus, which I was a bassist in. Both were similar style, heavy music. Musically, I'd say some of our influences are bands like Touche Amore, Defeater, Law Dispute, Loma Prieta, and lyrically, for me, I like to kind of draw some inspiration from Jeremy from Touche Amore, because he's one of my favorite lyricists, and just some of the analogies and metaphors that he uses are just amazing.
I'm super interested in drumming, and I try to pull influences from all sorts of genres. I always, looking to study drummers, study their different styles, listen to their music, kind of pull stuff from that, and just try to have fun.
For this band, once again, just like the genre question, it's pretty wide. There's a lot of different bands. Like, I like a lot of the kind of weirder bands, like a lot of stuff from Death Wish, from Death Heaven with the post-black gaze, shoegaze, whatever, and Birds in Row, Loma Prieta, all kinds of bands like that. But at the same time, shit like Defeater, and like I said, Lot of Dispute was definitely a big one, big giant fan of them, so.
I mean, some of our best moments have just happened, we played with Census Fail like last week or a couple weeks ago, and that was probably one of our best shows, biggest shows that we ever played. Some of our worst moments, we've stopped in the middle of songs, we forgot parts, we've just kind of winged it sometimes, but we all just kind of pick it back up as we go.
I've forgotten a couple songs. I've started things in the wrong spot. I've stopped in the wrong spot, but you know, it happens to the best of us.
Can't even say, man. I've messed up during songs before, forgot parts, dropped picks, amps go out, strings break, you know. So anytime that happens to you in the middle of a set, that is the worst moment you've ever had on stage because it's happening to you right then. Best moment is just any show that goes good, man. Take my glasses off, and you guys look like a giant crowd to me right now. So, boom, this is my best show.
I'd say playing with Senses Fail and Expire and For the Fallen Dreams and Being as an Ocean, just because it was great to play to a lot of new people that may have never seen us before. Another show that would probably be up there too is we played a house show at locally at this place called the Meat Locker, and I just love being close to the crowd and getting in their face and stuff. So that was the perfect venue because it was in a basement with tight quarters and stuff.
One of my favorite shows that we played was actually the show we played on Monday. I think it was Monday. And that was a lot of fun, and we played with Senses Fail, Norma Jean. That was cool. That basement show we played a couple weeks ago was fun, so yeah.
We haven't played that many, but they're starting to add up since we've only started playing. First show was what, like 2.5, 3 months ago, something like that. This Monday night was pretty good, man. There was a lot of kids, and it was fun. It's the most recent one, so it's the freshest one in the memory. It was pretty successful, so I'll go with that one.
I met all of them through shows, but we're a very diverse group. But it's kind of awesome to see everybody come together. Like, I'm an 18-year-old kid in college, and Cage is a 22-year-old guy who, like, he's a drummer that works at his family's restaurant. Mark is our guitarist. He works at Guitar Center. He's 27. Tim is 28, and our bassist Ruben, he's 38. Very diverse group, but we're all family.
My relationship, I met pretty much everyone going to shows. I've known Mark for a while because he's been in a lot of local bands that I've liked, and then Jake's been in a few local bands that I liked, and I just kind of met everyone through that.
I hate all these guys. Every one of them. No, it's really cool. Like in the other band I'm in, there's always like, I don't know the right word, not necessarily like confrontation, but just kind of like squabbling a little bit, like trying to get shit tight or whatever. When we go jamming, we just like kind of show up and talk shit to each other in a fun way a little bit and just play music. So
I feel like the Lubbock music scene is picking up after a while, being kind of in a slump, because about a couple months ago we had a lot of bands, we had a bunch of shows going, we had a couple venues coming and going, but for a while there it was just kind of dead, and now it's starting to pick back up with local bands like us, Judiciary, Watchers, and bands like that.
It's been growing lately. For a while we didn't have a venue, we didn't have a whole lot of bands, but I like where it's going right now. It's growing, we're getting new people coming from tech and stuff like that.
You had the droughts, you had all the kids drop off. Basically all the kids that I grew up with were not kids anymore. We're late 20s and families, jobs, stuff like that. So most of the old school cats have dropped off, and you have to wait for the next surge of young kids to bring it up. It looks like it's starting to happen again, but it just seems to run in waves. So,
I'd like to keep the band going, maybe go on tour with the band, because I feel like we have the potential and we have the dedication and commitment to go farther than Lubbock with this. I'd really like to spread this.
I'd like to. We haven't been a band for very long, this lineup anyways, and I'd like to go on tour. Go on tour and travel, meet people, stuff like that.
So man, I've been playing in bands, local bands, for over a decade now. I need to go on tour, man, because you never know when for whatever reason you have to stop or it ends or whatever. And I feel like I've invested enough time and money and sacrifice as far as working a job I don't necessarily like, or not finishing school and going and being a grown-up yet, or having a family or any of that, and been doing music the whole time. I feel like it'd just be a waste if I don't at least get to go be broke and pissed off that I'm on tour and maybe not even wanting to be on tour anymore, but I need to find that out myself, so.
Okay.
I'm Mark.
I'm Jake.
We're Murrieta. Thank you for watching.